Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Paradyme Podcast. We're so grateful that you're here. Thank you for tuning in. In this week's episode, we're going to be covering books 9 through 12 of the Iliad by Homer. We hope you're reading along with us. If you are, drop a comment down below. We'd love to hear from you. Before we jump into the content, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that little bell so you're notified every time we upload a new video, and follow us on all our social media platforms. All you need will be down in the description box below. So we're going to start today with Devin on book 9. If you can give us kind of a little bit of a rundown of how you created the visuals and kind of your creative process going into it.
Absolutely. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen just so we can get started on the presentation part. I'm taking the same approach, same style. I'm gonna try and stay as consistent as possible. However, I had a really hard time finding ideas for what I should use inside of my imagery, but I think the understanding of like my book is fairly simple. It's to the point. It's not too much like difference in scenery or location. So I did my best with just trying to stay consistent as far as theme, the texture, the detail of the images. And like when I continue making the other books, just keeping that same like red theme, red textile detail to like almost the image. I just like that. It's almost like a newspaper print.
Yeah.
Other than that, not too much other than that. So I'll go ahead and full screen this baby. All right.
Nice.
You see this, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Looks good, dude.
Okay. All right. So 50,000 Trojan soldiers sit by their watchfires, right? This is coming out of who is it? Hector kind of recognizing that like he's like almost undefeatable. Trojans are pushing the Greeks back, and they're almost like dominating the Greeks. And the Arcanians, or however you say the name, Achaeans. So 50,000 Trojan soldiers sit by their watchfires, waiting for dawn to destroy the Greeks. Hector has pushed the Greeks to the edge of their ships. Panic seizes the Achaean camps. Agamemnon weeps before his assembly, believing Jove has betrayed him and commanded their defeat. Agamemnon proposes fleeing to Argos, shocking the consul, right? He goes back to his leadership, the people he's meeting with, to make the argument that he's going to flee and not fight. Diomedes stands up and calls the king a coward and vows to stay and fight alone if necessary. Wise Nestor, an older, I guess like wiser elder, intervenes, restoring order and commanding sentinels to guard the wall against the night attack. At a private feast, Nestor tells Agamemnon he must apologize for dishonoring Achilles. Agamemnon admits he was blinded with passion and owns his mistake. He agrees to sends an embassy with a massive ransom to win Achilles back. And this is in regards to needing almost like assistance on the war, and seeing if they can have Achilles assist on helping them win some more, like win territory back. Let me switch sides. Agamemnon lists the gifts: gold, tripods, and racehorses, and the return of Briseis. This is the untouched, I think, is it his daughter? One of his daughters. He offers this to kind of win Achilles over. He offers a royal marriage to his daughter and 7 wealthy cities as a dowry. Nestor selects the envoys, the people he wants to go and visit Achilles to make this amend or make this apology. He chooses Ulysses, the mighty Ajax, and the father figure Phoenix. The envoys arrive to find Achilles playing the lyre and singing of heroes songs, because he has war and the past kind of on his mind as they arrive. He welcomes them open-armed, and they were it was unexpected for them. Despite his rage at the king, Achilles greets his friends in warmth and honor. He and Patroclus, it's like his assistant, served them a feast, personally preparing the meat and wine. In the book, there's a lot more detail, but he serves them a lot. He actually cuts the meat himself, and he does a lot for to welcome them as his guest. Ulysses warns that Hector is raving mad and will burn the ships by morning. He presents Agamemnon's massive offer of gifts and return of Briseis. Oh no, this is Briseis is Achilles. I don't know. You guys can correct me. I feel like I'm getting this wrong.
What it is she's the woman that Agamemnon stole from Achilles, which made this whole rift in the first place. Why Achilles isn't even participating in the war, but he also does offer him on top of that one of the daughters. So you weren't wrong. There's just a lot of detail in there.
Yeah, because I knew there was something that was missing that kind of put a closing gap in this. But thank you for that, John. So Ulysses warns Hector is raving mad. Hector is winning the war, and he recognizes no man or no god can defeat him. And he'll burn the ships by morning. He presents Agamemnon's massive offer of gifts and return of Briseis. He begs Achilles to pity the dying, and seize the chance to kill Hector for glory. However, Achilles rejects the gifts, declaring he hates Agamemnon like the gates of hell. He reveals the prophecy of his two fates. He can die young with glory or live long without it. He chooses life, threatening to sail home to Phthia in the morning. Yeah. Old Phoenix weeps, reminding Achilles he raised him like a son. This is one of the people that this is one of the men that was sent over to talk to Achilles to win him over to come assist. He tells the parable of Meleager, a hero who waited too long to fight and saved his city, but received no honor. He warns Achilles not to wait until the ships are burning to act. Ajax speaks bluntly, calling Achilles savage for holding a grudge over one single girl. Achilles admits his anger boils but refuses to yield completely. He sets a final condition. He will not fight until Hector burns his own ships. The envoys return back to Agamemnon with bad news. The gifts are refused. Panic threatens the leaders again, but Diomed rises once more. Diomed rallies them to sleep and prepare to fight alone at dawn, standing firm without Achilles. And that's where I wrap my presentation.
Solid,
Nice.
dude.
Nice.
Yeah, I think especially from like you condensed it. You still got like the whole gist of what the story was. All the art style like flowed good. So I think good, dude. I think we're right where we should be on that. That was pretty good.
Solid. I like how the art style kind of evolved over time too. It feels like comic booky, but like the illustration kind of like created its own thing from like where you first started. And it's like flowing really well. I like the scenes in the tent.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yep.
Yeah, the artwork reminds me of some sort of like clay that they would use like to write like old things back in like Babylonian times, like that red clay. Beautiful. I like that a lot. The art style looks like stonework. So I think that was really good. The symbolism when he like even displays, he tells them, I have two options. I've been told this by the goddess that I either die here in this battlefield with glory and my name is remembered forever, or I sail home and I live a long life.
Yeah.
And he like the statue looking thing where you have both of the different options on either side of the image. I think that was really good, man. Your time was about 4 minutes. So significant improvement from last week. So I'd like to ask you, how was your approach different this time?
I think there's a lot of details, especially with specifically that piece where like he's going over like why he's made his decision to find like more peace versus like seek more war, and the credit you get like Achilles, the credit you get for fighting and you're putting your life on the line for men that are still profiting over this stuff. He just doesn't find like there's a lot of detail in that section, and I like recognize and overall the whole book has a lot of detail. And it's like if you're telling every ounce of the sections, the subsections, and all this refined granular context, you're losing the side of like telling the story as if like you're just at a campfire or like you're talking to like kids to read this book. And it's almost like that's how I took it, as if I was to tell somebody, like if someone sat down and listened to me tell the book I read, how would I explain it? I probably wouldn't give them every single detail. It's really just like from A to B, but not A to A, A to A1, A to A2, A to A2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like almost just go straight to like the main points.
Yeah, when I was in grad school, my advisor sat me down and he goes, know your audience. And that those words alone are huge, because like if you look at your audience as like, let's say high schoolers that are reading this book, if there's a viewer out there that is in that camp, go ahead and drop a comment down below. We're super glad that you're here. But if you know your audience, let's say it's a high schooler that's reading this for an English class or a history class, they're not going to want the fine details because they can get that in their book, you know? So the fact that you were able to trim it down, present it as kind of an overarching idea, I think
also too, I created 3 different versions. And so I did like, it gave me very clear, like my first version was definitely going to be in that 20-minute fucking mark. And it's like, dude, it's hard. So I recognize naturally I want to just do that. Like my inclination is to do that.
right.
So I have to create a few variations of it.
Can I touch on something that I thought was funny? That just like the zoom in on that chapter. And what chapter was it? Book 9?
Yeah.
So one of the funny things is that like, okay, so Agamemnon's like, I'm gonna give all these things to Achilles to like bribe him back to join the war. But hey, I did fuck up. Let me show you that I fucked out. And I literally put my money where my mouth is. One of the funny things is when he zooms into and he talks about Briseis, whatever that chick's name is, he's like, let it be known, I was never inside of her couch or something like that. You know, he's like, I was never in the couch. All right, like I wanted to, obviously guilty, but I never made it in there. So technically, all like no foul, all chill.
Yeah. Didn't touch her. Didn't touch her.
Literally didn't touch her. Just saying. So I thought that, and I just thought it was funny that they like used the word couch. Is like from the beginning of time, like men always like call it something like, you know, the pussy, like the rosebud, whatever you want to fucking call it, the couch, dude. Fucking
the couch.
That fucking like, yeah. It's like where the 2 cushions meet, it's a crevice, you know what I'm saying? That's what they're talking about.
The love seat.
The plastic.
Yeah, I just thought that was funny, you know?
The
that fucking couch, dude. Fucking just trying to lay back and kick back on the couch, dude. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
That's crazy.
All right. Did you guys have any other questions for Dev or any other feedback before we move on?
I had a question for your process. How are you using like your prompts for each image? Are you telling ChatGPT from your outline to make a prompt and then you upload that prompt to an image generator?
Yeah. That's you hit it right. Like that's how I'm creating them now. I want them to like, I still don't like how these are being generated. I feel like it's like too AI for me. I want it to be like more, here, I'll show you guys my reference image.
I feel like it's always gonna look like AI, but like I feel like a way to like kind of solve that is if you take a particular artist or like be like I was using this guy named like Juan de Crow or something like that. Okay, I'm fucking up his name. Anyway, if you give him like copy this guy, it makes it a little bit more because then it has something to go off of. If you just have to make art, it's just like art. Before we segue out of this, can I just try to take a shot at like what I think the theme is of book 9?
Sure.
Right now, or are we gonna?
Yeah,
go ahead.
Okay. I think so. An important theme of theme 9 is like, we know the metaphor of like, once it's out of the tooth, like you can't put the toothpaste back in the bottle type shit. Okay, like once you make an action, it's hard to revert the action. Talking about like weighing things, like weighing your alliances. So King Agamemnon literally like burned a bridge with his #1 fucking soldier. Okay, because like he was thinking with his dick rather than his brain. Okay. And like right now it's costing him the war. And like he's ready to pay not only arm and a leg, he mentioned these tripods of gold and all the best racehorses that have never lost a race, and the girl back and his own daughter so they can be joined in marriage and he'll literally be king after me. All of that. And Achilles is like, nah, I know my worth. You could offer me that 10 times over. I'd still say no. He goes, because if I go to these other lands, I'm the GOAT. I'm the king everywhere I go. I was doing you a favor by helping you out. Like, I don't care anymore. You burned the bridge. This is what you get for burning the bridge. So I think the theme is, like, one, don't burn a bridge. Try to weigh things out in advance, and trying to fix a mistake always costs 10x of being proactively so the mistake never happens.
Right. Yeah. Analyze your pride,
Well, Achilles is saying no amount of gold is worth my pride, but Agamemnon got him in this trouble because he weighed his pride more than the troubles of the future. Right. So like both things on the scale, like pride's being weighed differently from like whose side. And like right now it's literally caught like for both reasons, pride is getting in the way of, at the very least, the Achaeans winning the war.
Right. Oh yeah.
Before you guys move on to the next book, I want to show you guys my reference. I have a few different images, but this is essentially the style that I really like.
That's pretty cool.
Seem to like hone it down because like I want it to be like the red and like the texture of this, like the it's almost like embroidery, but it's like digital. But I'm definitely aiming for this style, so I might find more reference image of like this. And I have different styles that like I pulled from, like as far as just like character creation. But like this texture is really what I'm aiming for.
Yeah, that's dope, dude. Yeah, the dots, like the little tiny dots in there, give it depth. It looks really cool. Oh yeah. All right. I'll jump into book 10. This was my presentation, so I'm gonna go ahead and bring that up. Just give me 1 second.
Hey, can I say something that I thought was funny that made me think about it? When you talked about Achilles is like, I could be one of two people, the guy who like dies young but like who's like a legend, or the guy who continues to live but like kind of in obscurity. We were talking about the whole collab guy or whatever. There's this whole thing is like these trajectory of these guys because they're taking like steroids and testosterone and like they're bone smashing. It's like for them to continue to be successful, they might literally die. But like they're like, or I can live and just be like not my like internet name. I would just be like Adam so and so, or I could be literally like like Speed. I don't know. I thought it was interesting. All right, I'll let you guys go. Sorry.
Oh, you're good. You're good. I am still getting everything loaded up here, so all good.
Bro, looking like a fucking video game that like a loading screen for a video game about to go fucking Assassin's Creed type shit. Like
Yeah. So all right, so I'm doing book 10 of the Iliad. My mindset going into it was this differed from the prior books that I did because even though it might seem minuscule, the first couple books that I did were during daytime. And this book, it's a night mission. There's things that are happening during night. So I went and kind of looked up a couple different ideas for like themes and art styles that would really look well during like a nighttime. So what I did was I looked up a couple different art styles and I found 3 of them. One is called Baroque, chiaroscuro, or Caravaggio, which is really good at doing dark, negative, like really manipulating the negative space in an image. And tenebrism, which is also really like a dark art style, and Goya-inspired dark realism. So they were kind of the 3 that I combined and added those into GPT and kind of built a framework and created images from there. So this is what I came up with, and I can tell you guys a little bit more once we finish up this presentation. So I'll start. Book 10 of the Iliad. Night settles heavily over the Achaean camp. Fires burn low. The exhausted soldiers lie asleep beside their ships, their armor stacked nearby, their shields resting like silent sentinels. But not all men sleep. Agamemnon lies awake in his tent. Troubled, his mind turns with anxiety about Achilles' absence, about Trojan momentum, about the uncertainty of tomorrow's battle. At last, he rises, draping a tawny lion skin across his shoulders. Spear in hand, he steps into the night. The weight of command presses upon him more heavily than his armor ever could. He makes his way through the quiet camp. Not far away, Menelaus too finds no rest. Concern for the army and for his brother gnaws at him. Wearing the skin of a spotted panther, he leaves his tent and approaches the stern of a ship where Agamemnon stands in thought. The two brothers confer in hushed urgency. They agree that action is needed. Agamemnon sends Menelaus to summon Ajax and Idomeneus. He himself goes to seek out Nestor, the elder counselor whose wisdom has guided many campaigns. Agamemnon finds Nestor, asleep beside his ship, weapons neatly arranged. He wakes the old king and shares his fears. Nestor listens carefully. Together they move through the camp, waking leaders one by one. They find Ulysses asleep in his tent. He rises immediately when called, alert and composed. They continue onward and discover Diomed resting outside his tent, clad in armor, even in his sleep, surrounded by comrades. Nestor wakes him. Diomed rises quickly and wakes his men to stand watch. Soon, a small council gathers beyond the trench and wall beyond the trench and wall the Greeks have built around their ships. Agamemnon, Menelaus, Nestor, Diomed, Ulysses, and Meriones. In the stillness of night, Nestor proposes a bold plan. Who will venture into the darkness, creep towards the Trojan camp, and gather intelligence? Or, if fortune favors, strike a deadly blow? Silence lingers. Then Diomed steps forward. He volunteers, yet he asks for a companion, someone brave, cunning, and steady in danger. Several men offer themselves. Agamemnon tells Diomed to choose freely, and without hesitation, Diomed chose Ulysses. The two men prepare. Diomed arms himself with a sword and spear. Ulysses takes a bow and a quiver. Before setting out, they pray to Athena, goddess of wisdom and warcraft, asking for guidance and protection. Athena hears them, and as a sign, she sends a heron through the darkness. Though they cannot see it clearly in the night, they hear its cry. Encouraged, the two heroes move forward, prowling like lions through shadow and carnage, stepping over fallen bodies still scattered across the plain. But in Troy's camp, sleep is restless as well. Hector cannot rest. Concerned about the enemy's next move, he calls together the princes and counselors of Troy. He asks a dangerous question. Who will dare to approach the Greek ships and discover whether they still keep watch or whether exhaustion has left them vulnerable? A man named Dolon volunteers. He is not among the greatest warriors, but ambition drives him. In exchange for his risk, Hector swears a reward, the immortal horses of Achilles. Dolon dons the skin of a gray wolf, takes up a javelin, and slips into the night alone. Across the darkened plain, Ulysses and Diomed spot a lone figure running toward the Greek camp. Ulysses quickly devises a plan. They will allow Dolon to pass them slightly, then cut off his retreat toward Troy. If he runs, they will chase him down. The trap closes. Dolon realizes too late that he has been spotted. He runs desperately, but the two Greek warriors are relentless, and they overtake him. Breathless and terrified, Dolon offers ransom, pleading that his wealthy father will pay handsomely for his return. But Ulysses and Diomed have questions. They interrogate him. Who sent you? What are the Trojans planning? Where is Hector and who stands guard? Dolan, shaking, reveals everything. The Trojans are awake and in council. No formal watch has been set. Allied forces camp nearby, including newly arrived Thracians, led by King Rhisus, whose horses are magnificent beyond compare. Dolan begs to be bound rather than killed. Without hesitation, Diomed strikes Dolan. His sword flashes in the night. Dolan's head falls as he speaks. They dedicate Dolan's spoils to Athena and press onward toward the Thracian camp. The mission continues. The Thracians lie sleeping, their armor gleaming faintly in the moonlight. Their horses stand tethered close by. Like a lion descending upon unguarded sheep, Diomed attacks. He strikes swiftly, killing man after man before they can rise. 12 fall. Then he reaches King Rhisus himself and kills him as well. An evil dream, sent by Athena, hovers over the slaughter, a reminder of the strange mixture of divine favor and human brutality. Ulysses works quickly. He untethers the famed horses and ties them together, preparing them for escape. He whistles softly to signal Diomed, but Diomed hesitates. His mind races with further possibilities. Should he push deeper, kill more, take more spoils? And at that moment, Athena speaks to him. Enough. Return now, lest another god awaken the Trojans. For Apollo has seen everything. Apollo rouses Hippocoon among the Thracians. He awakens to chaos, the dead scattered around him, the horses gone. Shouts erupt. The Trojan camp stirs in alarm, but it is too late. Diomed and Ulysses race back toward the Greek ships, driving the stolen horses before them. Nestor is the first to hear the thunder of hooves approaching in the darkness. He calls out cautiously, the heroes have returned safely. They recount their deeds, the killing of Dolan, the slaughter of the Thracians, the death of King Rhisus, and the capture of his magnificent horses. At dawn's first light, Diomed and Ulysses wash the blood from their bodies in the sea. They bathe, anoint themselves with oil, and offer sacrifice to Athena in gratitude for her guidance. The night raid is complete. The war will resume at sunrise, but for one night, cunning and boldness have shifted the balance, proving that in war, victory does not only belong to brute strength, but to those daring minds willing to move in darkness. Thank you.
Bro, you killed it. Every time, I mean, all of us, like, it gets better. I loved the art style to it. Like fucking slide one after like the title slide. I was like, oh shit, this is sick. Like I was like I wanted to say that. I was like, this is sick. That one when you have the guy who was captured with the wolf when he's looking up and Ulysses, the other guy on top of him. And like all of it, dude, the art style was super sick. I thought like you kept the story condensed down to like what it needs without like taking away too much. But yeah, I really loved what you did with the AI throttles to get that style going on. I thought that was sick, bro. Good job.
Thank you.
Yeah, great job. I love your style. It reminds me of like it does like remind me of a video game, like an old like an Assassin's Creed or like a Ninja Gaiden or something.
Yeah.
Super sick. And I love like how the images captured at night, like, and even all the subtle details, like I don't know how many times you're prompting AI to give you like the angel in the sky and then also the bird.
That was sick, huh? But subtle though, but seeing her in like in the cloud of the night, subtle but perfect. Yeah.
And the storytelling is amazing too. It's to the point. We're not getting too much detail. Yeah, like I love how like this. I love this book specifically, like the theme that Diomed sets versus like Achilles, and I kind of like peeked into that and like the difference of character and stuff. But good job, great job, I like it.
It's really setting up Ulysses to be the GOAT in the upcoming book. Like all the time they give him like strong right hand energy, like Like
Yeah.
literally, Diamond's like, all right, if I gotta pick the person to watch my back, it's Ulysses. Everyone's like, goddamn right, I would do the
Yeah.
same thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, amazing job. I love that you're researching like different art styles too and using that to kind of give you like the visuals going forward because those are real art styles and that's like legit how it looks and
Yeah.
it's just so sick, especially for the night scenes. Great job. It literally feels like I'm listening and watching like the History Channel in a super sick way. In my head I was imagining some
Yeah.
captions that are animating as you're speaking. And then like the camera's like panning and zooming in on all the details of the like the
Yeah.
sword, like his neck and like stuff like that. So yeah, super
Yeah.
solid job. And I really love how like when Athena pops in, then there was text on the screen because that's like when the god spoke, and it kind of gave so much more emphasis to when Athena spoke because it's like, you know what I mean? Like I don't know, I was like, damn.
Good catch. I like that too. Yeah. It was authority to that, right? And because like she's saying it, right? So everyone hears it. Yeah, that's good. That's good, David. I like
Very
that.
sick.
Yeah, I mean Homer is so good at with his imagery. Like I wanted to include that. So like with this image here, let me know when you guys can see it.
The one with the sword and like when it's like glinting off the fire and like especially when it talks about that, it's like, I was like, damn, that was sick.
Oh yeah. So can you guys see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so in the writing, the two men are kind of meeting where Agamemnon's by the ship and Menelaus comes out, but Agamemnon's given the fur of a tawny lion, and Menelaus puts on the fur of a spotted leopard, and like the amount of detail he puts into his writing is so good, and it really played into the symbolism of the chapter. If you think about it, Dolan, the guy who gets killed, is wearing a wolf skin,
Yeah.
right? And who kills him?
A lion and a leopard.
A lion and a leopard, right? So like you can tell like he's laying in these images throughout the subtle little symbolism that's throughout it as well. So I wanted to kind of incorporate some of those things in the imagery as well. So it was really fun to make.
Just to zoom in on that imagery and that metaphor, like, okay, like how does a wolf normally, why are they effective? Because they work in a pack, and like the Trojans are doing effectively in this pack manner. But if you boil it down to like the heroes, like they have Ulysses, like the spotted leopard, they have Diomed, the lion, right? They have Achilles, right? And so like that, I like that. I like you zooming in on that. I didn't think about that until you just said that.
Yeah, so that was a really fun chapter.
I thought it was super interesting when I just had it. I literally escaped my mind. It'll come back to me. It'll come back to me.
Baby, come back.
Damn it.
That's all right. It'll come back. If it pops in, feel free to interject. But
I thought it was crazy when the atrocity of like war and how brutal things can be when they caught the wolf. He's there and he's like super scared immediately. Like before he went to go to do this venture, he's like, I will take all of I will do this as long as you promise me everything. And Hector's like, yeah, sure, you have all this. And then he's like, I got you guys. And then he goes through, and then as soon as he gets caught, just like the weight of like his life at stake, and he's facing his own mortality. And then they're like, no, don't worry, dude, we're not gonna kill you. We just want to know. And then as soon as they tell him everything, they're just like, all right.
And talk about like all the detail too. Like they talk about how like that, like they had known about him before because he had been kidnapped in a previous war and his dad paid a big ransom. And he's like, my father, he will pay. Do not kill me. And they're like, we won't, dude. We promise. Now, what's up with like the Trojans? How we doing? What's morale like? Yeah.
Right.
Literally spilled the entire bean, the whole everything, dude.
Yeah, spilled.
I thought it was really funny because in there it says that his promise was basically not going to be fulfilled in the writing. So I imagine like Hector, as soon as Dolan leaves, he's like, yeah, that dude's fucked. That dude's so fucked.
He's like, dude, He thinks I'm gonna give him Achilles horses. Like, is he retarded? Retard Maxine.
That dude is so fucked, dude.
Oh man. All right. I'll hop into mine here.
All right.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about what you did differently, if you did do something differently, and kind of your creative process.
Okay, sweet. Can you guys see my screen?
Give it 1 second. Yes.
All right. So, I had book 11 for mine. I kept the God of War theme for this one specifically. I tried to kind of have like a little bit more color and vivid imagery and change up some of the shots from, I guess, like a bird's eye view, because the more I kept prompting just input output with ChatGPT, I think ChatGPT got used to the same method, and it just kind of like gave me a really basic version of what I was asking for. So I had to, even though I had all of my prompts, I had to tweak them just slightly. So yeah, just that was my angle for this one. I want a little bit more color, different shots, and a little bit more dramatic scenes. So without further ado, we'll hop into it. So the Iliad, book 11. So where book 11 begins, dawn rises and Zeus sends fierce discord, the god of strife, to the Greek ships to wake the army's spirit. She stands by Odysseus's ship, positioned in the middle, so her cry reaches all the way to Ajax on one end and Achilles on the other. Her scream fills the camp with courage, making the men choose battle over going home. Agamemnon arms for war. Agamemnon prepares in full armor, and Homer slows down to describe it like a close-up. Greaves, a rich breastplate, a shining shield with a grim Gorgon face, and twin spears flashing like fire. Even the details feel symbolic. Terror, panic, and power built into his gear. The Greeks form up near the trench, and the sound of preparation rises like a storm. A bad omen appears as red blood dew falls, warning that many will die. The Trojans assemble behind Hector. Across the plain, the Trojans gather on higher ground around Hector, Polydamas, Aeneas, and other Trojan leaders. Hector's bronze armor flashes in and out of view like a dangerous star breaking through clouds. The armies crash together like two groups of reapers cutting grain, both sides falling fast. Discord is the only god moving among them. Zeus watches from a distance, detached and deciding the day's outcome. Agamemnon's rampage. As morning turns toward midday, Agamemnon leads a major Greek push and starts cutting through Trojan fighters. He kills warriors in close combat, strips armor, and drives the Trojans back across the open ground. The scene feels like a chase. Bodies falling, horses dragging empty chariots, dust rising as the Greeks surge forward. Agamemnon presses so far that the fighting drifts toward Troy's landmarks, near the tomb of Ilus and toward the Sicaian gates. Zeus holds Hector back. Just as Agamemnon's momentum grows unstoppable, Zeus sends Iris with a message to Hector. Hector is told to stay back while Agamemnon is still raging at the front, and to let other Trojans absorb the damage. Zeus is basically timing the battle like a switch. Wait until Agamemnon is wounded, and then attack. Hector listens, holding himself back even as the war rages around him. Agamemnon is wounded and withdraws. A Trojan ally, Iphidamus, attacks Agamemnon. Agamemnon kills him, but the fight leads into retaliation. Kun, Iphidamus's brother, sneaks in close and stabs Agamemnon in the arm near the elbow where the spear punches straight through. Agamemnon keeps fighting while the wound bleeds, but when it dries, the pain hits hard and sharp. Finally, he climbs into his chariot and is driven back towards the ships, pulled away from the fight by sheer agony. Hector unleashed. The moment Hector sees Agamemnon leave the battlefield, he calls it out like a signal flare. He rallies Trojans and allies to charge, believing Zeus has granted him the advantage. Hector surges forward like a violent storm, and Greeks begin to fall in clusters. Homer lists the men Hector kills as proof that this isn't just pressure, it's real collapse. Diomedes and Odysseus hold the line. With panic spreading, Odysseus calls to Diomedes to stand firm so the Trojans don't reach the ships. They fight like cornered animals, turning back the Trojan wave and buying the Greeks breathing room. Diomedes even throws a spear that nearly hits Hector, forcing him to recoil and retreat briefly to his chariot. But the pressure keeps building, and the heroes can't hold forever. Diomedes falls. Odysseus is surrounded. Paris shoots Diomedes in the foot with an arrow, and Diomedes is forced to withdraw in a chariot. Odysseus is left alone, surrounded by Trojans who close in like hunting dogs around a wounded animal. Even while bleeding from a spear wound to the side, Odysseus fights back and kills multiple attackers. He calls out for help again and again, refusing to run, even when trapped. Ajax arrives like the wall. Menelaus hears Odysseus' cries and brings Ajax to rescue him. Ajax enters the scene as a physical barrier, his shield like a wall, and the Trojans scatter back under the sudden pressure. Ajax doesn't just rescue Odysseus, he turns the moment into a violent counterattack, chasing Trojans and cutting down men and horses. For a brief moment, Ajax becomes the anchor holding the Greek line together. Machaon is wounded, Nestor withdraws, and Ajax is forced back. On another part of the field, Hector is causing slaughter near the river Scamander, where the fighting is thickest. Paris wounds Machaon, the healer, and the Greeks fear he'll be captured. So Nestor rushes him away in a chariot towards the ships. Achilles sees this from the ship and sends Patroclus to find out who the wounded man is. Meanwhile, Zeus strikes fear into Ajax, and Ajax is forced into a slow, stubborn retreat, turning to fight, stepping back, turning again, holding the Trojans off, but fatally. Book 11 is a turning point. Book 11 turns the war by showing how quickly the Greek leaders are removed one by one. Agamemnon wounded, Diomedes wounded, Odysseus wounded, and even Machaon the healer taken off the field. Patroclus enters the center of the story, moving between Achilles and the wounded men, and you can feel the shift towards compassion and responsibility. Nestor plants the key idea: if Achilles won't fight, Patroclus might wear his armor to save the Greeks. The book ends with Patroclus stopping to heal Eurypylus, choosing action over distance. This is the moment the story quietly pivots towards the decisions that will change everything. The gods guide events but do not stop the war, reminding us that human effort is fragile before divine power. This book sets the foundation for later moments of compassion, especially when enemies recognize shared humanity. And that is the end of book 11.
I thought good, bro. I thought same thing. Improvement from last one. I like the imagery too. I think recalibrating the AI is like important because like he will start getting lazy and just kind of like mimicking different things he's made all over again, you know? So I thought that shit was good. Good flow of the story. And yeah, and one thing I like that is that like I like a final kind of like takeaway or like a key takeaway of like what book 11 is and like some stuff like that. So I like how that's like a final slide for you, you know? It kind of like puts a bow on it, not like as your narrator, more as in like you know, closing the whole idea as like a book as a whole. So good job.
Sick. Thank you, man.
I like how you kept the tone of like not only just the imagery, but how the book explained it. Like the tone of leadership collapsing as like pillars are falling, and I think the close up of the like exaggeration and like the expression and like the faces kind of adhere to this leadership. Is like they're like they don't look weak in your images. They look very as if like they are the wall. They're like they're not going to fall without a massive like
Yeah,
crumbling or
that
increase of leadership.
Ajax one. Go back to the Ajax with the line. That one, I was like, oh shit, boy!
Yeah.
Like he really is coming in and saving the fucking day. Like
Yeah.
it reminds me of kind of like Attack on Titan. Like that's the colossal Titan. Like,
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Hell
we're
yeah.
gonna hang like So yeah, I feel that.
Yeah, the tone that you set as far as like them losing, but they're not going to give without a fight is represented very well in how you depict the images.
Nice.
Yeah, man.
Thanks.
Your attention to detail. Like if you go back to I think it's the first time you introduced Agamemnon. It might be slide 2. The addition of the Gorgon on the front of his shield, his like bronze and gold armor, like the attention to detail that you paid in this presentation was amazing. I love that. Your final slide with that, the summary at the end, I think that was such a great addition. It like puts a nice, beautiful bow on top of your presentation. I love the vignette at the bottom. I just think you did a really, really good job with this, man.
Thank you, dude.
Yeah, really good job.
Hell yeah, man. So, what can you say that you noticed that you did differently with this presentation?
I think just like paying attention, matching up my visuals to the slide paragraphs. Sometimes I would read them, or even just from a visual sense, I'd be like, okay, like for this one, I had to remake this one, I think once or twice because he looked exactly like Agamemnon.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, I imagine Hector like looking like this. He's like more royal looking and doesn't have a helmet on or something. So stuff like that, just kind of getting a little bit more specific with the visuals. And let's see what else. That's kind of like the main one. I wanted like scenes like this where the war scene or whatever is visually showing is all captured within the landscape view and looks good with some text next to it.
Yeah, I felt pretty engrossed in like that slide and the back-to-back slide. I could almost like feel the movement behind it, if that makes sense. Like I was kind of looking around like, oh yeah, like that's literally like they're literally just like fucking shit up because like they literally are the goats right there. So yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. All right. Any feedback to give back to David or any of your favorite parts from his presentation that you'd like to tell him before we move forward?
Good theme, good tone.
I did mine.
Hell yeah. All right. So we're going to move forward with book 12 from John.
Okay.
Go ahead and load that up.
I'm going to get that going right there.
No. What? Let me just try doing mine. I think it's going to be fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let me know, and then if not, I'll have it ready to go.
Why can't I do just the whole screen? What's going on? I can't. What do I do?
Window.
Share screen. Maybe I need to do this. Hang on. Fuck. Yeah. Entire screen. Here we go. Boom. All right. Boom. Bro.
Okay, it's already a lot faster.
All right. Can you guys see this?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Perfect. Let this load. All right. All looks good for you guys over there?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right. So I kind of made it the same way. I used Prezi. There's a lot of different mediums in here. Some I farmed with AI, some I farmed with Google. So I'm just gonna go ahead and go for it. The Iliad, Book 12, The Breaking of the Wall. Book 12 opens with a prophetic frame. Homer tells us the Greek wall, built without honoring the gods, is destined to be destroyed after the war. This reminder reinforces a core theme of this epic. Human effort are temporary. Fate is permanent. Okay. Let's see if my keyboard's working. I don't know. Here we go. Boom. The breaking of the wall. In this pivotal section of the epic, the Trojans launch a fierce attack against the Greek wall, which serves as their last line of defense. This assault not only threatens the Greek fleet, but also escalates the conflict, pushing both sides towards an inevitable confrontation that could change the course of the war. Where are we in the story? All right. So Achilles is still absent. Achilles remains distant from the battlefield, significantly impacting Greek morale and fighting capabilities. His absence leaves a void that the Trojans are eager to exploit. Greeks are weakened and wounded. The Greek forces are battered, with many warriors injured and weary from prolonged fighting. This decline in strength creates vulnerability against the determined Trojan army. The Trojans are confident after early victories. The Trojans, buoyed by previous victories, approach the wall with confidence. Their recent success empowered them, making them more aggressive in their assault. The wall serves as the last basin for the Greek forces, symbolizing their hope and resilience. Its strategic design, including towers and gates, is crucial in safeguarding their ships against the advancing Trojans, while the deep trench adds an additional layer of defense. This Trojan strategy. The Trojans, emboldened by recent victories, come together to launch a concentrated attack on the Greek wall. Their unity reflects their confidence and determination to break through Greek defenses. Hector takes command. Hector, the fearless Trojan prince, leads the charge against the Greek fortifications. His leadership inspires the troops and instills a sense of purpose and urgency among the warriors. The champions join the fray. In addition to Hector, several champions from Troy step forward to join the assault, each ready to prove their valor and contribute to push against the Greeks. This coalition increases the pressure on the Greeks significantly. The omen from Zeus. An eagle, a symbol of divine power, appears in the sky carrying a snake, representing danger. As the snake bites, the eagle drops it, foretelling conflict and potential for dire consequences in the battle ahead. Polydamas interprets the omen. Polydamas urges caution. He's a wise warrior, interprets the ominous sign from Zeus and sees it as a warning from impending danger for the Trojans. He believes that they should not underestimate the Greeks' resilience and should proceed with caution in their assault. Warning against blind action. He warns Hector that a reckless attack could lead to unnecessary losses and jeopardize their chance of victory. His perspective reflects the importance of strategy over blind bravery. Strategic withdrawal suggested. He suggests as a strategic withdrawal to regroup and reassess their attack plan, highlighting his understanding of the battlefield and the need for careful consideration in warfare. Hector rejects the warning. Hector, driven by a mix of pride and confidence, chooses to ignore the ominous sign from Zeus. His belief in the Trojan strength and momentum leads him to prioritize immediate action, setting the stage for a critical clash at the wall. The Trojan assault begins. The Trojan forces, emboldened by their earlier success, begin to cross the deep trench that surrounds the Greek wall, making the start of their fierce assault. As the Trojans surge forward, the Greek defender finds themselves overwhelmed, fighting desperately to maintain their position against the oncoming tide. The battle escalates into chaos, with screams of clashing weapons and a frenzy of movement as both sides engage fiercely in the struggle for survival. Sarpedon attacks the wall. So this guy's another Trojan, okay? So while Hector's going in and messing stuff up, this other guy is also causing some motion for the Trojans. His name is Sarpedon. I might be saying that wrong. He's a prominent warrior and a son of Zeus, showcases his strength by leading the Lycians in the assault against the Greek wall. His divine heritage and formidable presence invigorates his troops, rallying them to push forward in this siege. In the heat of battle, Sarpedon tears down a section of the Greek wall, symbolizing both the physical breach of defenses and the psychological blow to the Greeks. This act of destruction not only weakens the Greek position, but also boosts the morale of Trojan forces. Sarpedon's actions serve as a rallying point, inspiring his fellow Trojans to fight with renewed vigor. His leadership not only demonstrates individual bravery, but also highlights the crucial role of inspiration in battle. Greeks near collapse. The Greek defenders, overwhelmed by the relentless Trojan assault, begin to retreat. With their leadership in disarray, and moral plummeting, panic sets in among the ranks, threatening the very survival of their forces. Hector and the Great Stone. In a defining moment of the battle, Hector demonstrates his immense strength by lifting a colossal stone. He hurls it against the Greek gate, shattering their defenses and paving the way for the Trojan forces to evade the Greek camp. Okay? Trojans enter the Greek camp. The Trojans exploit the Greek defenses, pouring through the gap in the wall, making a crucial turning point in the battle. With the Greek wall breached, the ships are now vulnerable to destruction, heightening the stakes of the conflict as the Trojans surge forward. With the battle shifting in their favor, the Trojans now see victory as an imminent possibility, reflecting their recent success. Themes of Book 12: fate versus human effort, ignoring warnings and omens, the illusion of security, momentum, and overconfidence. For me, the biggest dominant theme of this is the Greek walls is the most dominant theme in Book 12 is the Greek wall is powerful and well built and defended by great heroes. Yet Homer opens the book by telling us it will eventually be destroyed no matter what. This reinforces a core idea of the epic. Human strength and planning cannot overcome fate. Even the strongest walls fall when fate has decided their end. Character focus: Hector symbolizes courage and recklessness, and then while Polydamas showcases wisdom and caution. When warnings are ignored, victory can turn into tragedy. Lessons for Book 12, and that is my presentation.
Nice, man.
I'm going to go ahead and take this off. Oh, I guess we can, yeah. Oopsies.
Gotta say the Prezi format is really interesting. I like how seeing like we're zooming into like all these stories within stories, and you're getting
Right.
context for each sort of frame.
Right.
I think it's interesting, and it does provide the context that I think is missing for some viewers. So yeah, the memes are also really funny too. I like that. Yeah, good shit.
Yeah, I would hit on the same thing. The zooming of subsection or the full section of like the actual story, and it like dives into a more detailed version. I do like that how it's doing that. Visually, it's easier to follow along. Like when it moves, like the whole screen moves or something moves within the visual.
Yeah.
It's like it's almost like just a visual element. It's telling you like we're going to another substrate of what we're talking about. Like how it went
Sure.
from Hector talking about the leadership breaking through the wall, and then it goes to his like I forget his name, but he's attacking the wall from a different angle.
Right.
But overall, I think the story is great. Storyline's fucking good. I love the dynamic of difference of visual elements that we're using, specifically how you're using Prezi or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
All right, for me, man, your Prezi presentations are set up in a way that just it matches the way my brain works, and I fucking love it. Where you start with this overarching idea or a boulder, right? And it's broken down into multiple smaller subsections, like the pebbles of it. That's exactly how my brain works. And for people that are using, like viewers that use like Google Docs or Microsoft Word, the idea of a heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, and those being subsections of each other, that really does something for me. So man, I love the way it's organized. Little things. If we're doing shit sandwich approach,
Yeah, go for it.
There's spelling within your images.
Yeah, I know. That's me being lazy for sure, 100%. Like what I could do is just like do the images and then make a text box and type it. And like I'm asking chat to like just do that for me. And like it's not the best about putting words in there. And I'm like, it's fine. I don't give a shit. Like if I'm being honest, but like you're right though. I could fix that.
And if you like when I'm prompting ChatGPT, I'll put add this text and I'll put quotation mark and I'll write it out and then end quotation, and it'll just directly put that onto the slide.
I'm doing that. Like I'm literally doing that. It's just like sometimes it does that. Like
okay.
it's just not the best with words. I don't know about your guys' experience, but like that's something that like happens to me sometimes when it comes to
Hmm.
like word generation with image generation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that is what I'm doing.
So
Okay.
yeah, it's not the best.
Yeah, and that's just nitpicky stuff. You know,
Yeah.
that's like so small that like it didn't take away from your presentation at all. It was really, really good. I love your use of memes. I think it's a great way to appeal to the viewer and to keep viewers invested and their attention like under lock. I think that that's a great addition, like the Kool-Aid Man or the dude going like
Oh, yeah.
I think it's such a great way to appeal to your audience. So I think you know your audience really well, and I really love the addition of the themes of book 12, most dominant themes, and the major lessons of book 12. I love those slides because it's like, yeah, here's the story, but like what's the point? You know, like so what?
Yeah, exactly.
Waka would write on my reviews of my thesis, so what? And that's the most important thing is like we're reading this book. Let's say I'm a college student reading this book for one of my classes or a high school student. So what? Like I'm reading this, what am I supposed to be taking away? So I think you did a great job of like incorporating that into your presentation. So really,
Yeah.
really good presentation, man.
Appreciate the talk on that. Like sometimes, especially after watching your guys's, I think I'm going like, let's say like info light, you know, like I think some of your slides are in depth with like the imagery and the info, and like I'm kind of giving more of a bird's eye view of it. And like one of the reasons I'm doing that is because like I feel like it's such a different thing from you guys. I'm just making something different for funsies too. But like sometimes I go, maybe I should put some more. But I'm trying to think of them as like, because they're not chapters, they're books, you know? So I'm trying to be like so what of book 12, you know, like what in this tiny like saga, what are the key takeaways? What's the imagery? What's the metaphors? So I'm trying to incorporate that to be like Hector was symbolizing this, you know, the overarching theme of this was X. So that's something I'm trying to incorporate in it. So appreciate
Yeah,
it.
I think that I'm gonna take that. I'm definitely stealing that for my next presentation because you and David both did that, and I think walking away from the presentation, like it just gives you an understanding of like the reason why we're listening to the book or why we're presenting, not like why we're presenting it, but like what themes that we took away from this section that we presented on, what
Right.
we think is going to be crucial, like moving into the next book for the next presenter.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely I added notes for myself to add that for my next one.
Same. Yeah, you guys did a really good job of that, both you, John, and David. So I'm definitely going to take that as well, and kind of find a way to incorporate that maybe as like the last slide on my presentation. So really, really good. Really, really good. All right. Anything else to add for John's feedback or
Was
anything
it
like
smoother
that?
this time?
Can you
yeah.
go back to your can you
The-
present Prezi real quick?
Yeah. What was it smoother that time?
It was a lot smoother.
It was. Yeah.
Sweet. It's because I'm on the iPad boy. iPad boy now. Let me Prezi. And I like if you can see like I'm gonna back out of this real quick because it helps you make the bones of it. Like this is the bones of another one that like it tried making for me, and like I was like, I didn't like it as much. So, but boom, back in here, boom. Okay, what do you want me to go?
Click into like the almond one.
Okay, sure. Boom. Right here.
Okay.
This?
Yeah, I think I don't know, you know, like the graphic design in me is like kind of looking for some consistency with like you have like this layout, right? And then like go to another one. Like it like changes. And I think like to Jay's point, I think when I saw text in the photo too, kind of like threw me off, or like I was like I didn't know where to look, you know what I mean? So
True. Like this
like
says
it was too much.
interpeats, you know, it's not like how I typed that. It just did that shit. And I'm like, I'm using like a free version of chat, so like every image generation fucking counts. Like, bro, it's fine. You know?
Yeah. No, that was my only thing. Yeah, but it's smooth.
But I agree with you. Like one of the things that like, you know, sometimes Amanda will kind of like come in and try to like help me a little bit, like organize it, and like what she tries to do is try to make it all like look the same. And I'm kind of always bad about that. Like how like where the pictures are at, like how sometimes it takes up the whole thing, how sometimes it doesn't. So
Yeah.
I hear that.
Okay.
Nice. Does Amanda take like a last view, kind of like an
Yeah,
overview?
I don't let her see it until I'm done.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, because she wants to see it. I'm like, no, I haven't even done anything yet to it yet. I'm still building. I was like, you can see when I'm all done.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice. That's a really good idea to take it and have somebody do like a like last review outside of your own eyes, you know?
Yeah.
I think that's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sweet, man. Well,
Cool.
again,
How about
really
you?
good presentation. It I feel like you're developing your template as we move forward. I want to know, like, what did you do differently intentionally in this presentation?
Hold on. I'm gonna fucking get out of this shit. You know I'm a boomer, right? What did I do intentionally? Fuck, dude. How do I get out of this, guys? I'm fucking freaking out.
Stop sharing. You're still sharing.
Google.
I know. Let me get back into Google. Fuck, man. Okay. Here we go. How do I get out of this? Rejoin. I'm already in here. Oh my god.
Stop sharing. Hit stop sharing.
All right. We live. Okay. What was the question again, Jay? Sorry.
What did you intentionally do different or add to this week's presentation compared to like 2 weeks ago?
Yeah. This week's presentation, I try to keep. I intentionally kept like themes because like I had that last time, and like actually like AI helped me do that like when I was like going back and forth with it. So like I like that. When I intentionally didn't necessarily want like a storyboard where I'm gonna talk and then like pictures. You know, I kind of want like where the information's on the slides with it that kind of go with the information. So that's kind of what I'm aiming for.
Nice. All right, cool.
Oh, and then one other thing that I do, and I don't know about you guys, but like again, because I'm shackled by like my image generation, what I'll do is I'll say, like, I have 12 slides. I'll be like, chat, generate me a picture that within it has 12 different pictures that correspond with each slide. And then on Prezi, I just upload one picture and then I crop it onto the one picture that's like meant for that presentation, if that makes sense.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So like one picture's got 12 things. And then like for like the little nuance things, I'll go back and be like, hey, I actually for this, like I'll make the slide and be like, can we do a picture just for this? So that's kind of how I'm doing stuff too.
Okay. Nice. All right. Anything else to add, guys, before we move forward?
So,
Nope. All right. So I want to ask you guys, from all 4 books, did you guys have a favorite part or any notable parts from this week's reading that you wanted to mention?
I think
ahead,
it
John.
was book 3, maybe it was when like not book 3.
11.
Book 11, when like it lists all the people, all the Trojans that were killed by the Greeks, and then like it shows like the death count of all the people Hector killed. I was thinking of like, is that correct? Is that what book that happens in?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking like, I was like, if I was reading that, I would have like made a slide, just been like, kill count, like UAV, area, chopper gunner, 11 kills.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like. It just kept listening. I'm like, kill count.
Yeah.
So it felt very action heavy in that moment, and I could see it in my head.
Oh yeah.
For me, it's not so much like specific parts because there's still a lot of war going on, and I think the themes and the tones is really like what I'm looking for. Like, for me, like characters that I draw on are Hector and Diomed. I think their characters and like how they're approaching this war is like representations of valor and vigor and resilience, and like especially Hector with knowing that he's on the brink of, like, he could be at the peak of winning and there's nothing that can determine like a loss at this point. Like he's almost invincible, and Diomed almost he's carrying the same sort of valor on his sleeve, but he's losing. And so it's like the dynamic of 2 different characters on 2 different sides of the battlefield, like, are represented in the same context. I think that's really fascinating, and there's so many parts that like they kind of hit on. So it's not really like a specific point on the story. It's just like the dynamic of these characters that lay on two different sides of the battlefield.
Dude, something to touch on too about for book 11 too, what you're talking about is like, I feel like a takeaway too is like, a theme would be like knowing when to strike, like, and the strike is metaphorically, because like Zeus tells Hector, I know you want to go intervene now because like you're watching your boys get fucked. Let your boys get fucked, and if you time it right, we can win the whole thing. But if you try to attack now, prematurely, you will lose because low-key the Greeks are goated, you know?
Yeah.
So like we have to be like strategic about this, you know? And so like in book 11, Hector listens to strategy. In book 12, he's like, fuck it, bro, we got motion. White boy got motion.
Right.
And you know they say a white boy motion stays in motion. And then we're gonna see what happens, not listening to wisdom and strategy. And
right.
We will find out, because it's hinting at that it's not going to go well for him, but we don't know yet.
Yeah, and the theme too, like why the Greeks, like they built a wall against the against the gods, like say so, and I think they're being like just a theme of them not building something that like the gods wanted. I think what's his name,
Neptune.
Well, it's like they didn't like praise to the gods, like being like, hey, these walls are for you, thank you gods, you for letting us build the walls. And the gods were like, well, but Zeus also tells him, he goes, why are you guys worried about that? You're the king of earthquakes. You worried about little walls on a beach? You
Right.
know? He literally says some stuff like that, you know?
Yeah. So I think the themes and the tones of like character dynamic is really what I'm fascinated by, especially with these like last 4 books. It's like the dynamics are the same on different teams, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I like that.
One of my favorite parts from this week's reading was in book 11, Paris or Alexandrus shoots an arrow and it hits Diomedes in the foot, or Diomed.
Oh,
and he's like, ha ha, got your ass. He's like, she got your ass, right? And Diomed's like, he goes, if you would have got hit with this arrow, you'd be a bitch. But a guy like me, I'm built different. And he starts fucking doing stuff.
He literally said that.
That's the same thing.
He's fucking things up, and then he calls for help, but like he still holds his ground. I think it's so funny that he's got an arrow through his foot. It writes in there that the arrow pierces his foot and buries itself into the ground, and he's still
so he can't move. So the thing is, like, he's been staked to the ground. And
right.
He's like, got your ass. You're about to get fucked, dog. And he's like, oh yeah, I'll just stand my ground. How about that? Like, you would be worried, not me.
Right.
You're in trouble. I'm not going anywhere.
Guy like me. I thought that was an awesome part of the book. Yeah,
me too. There's a lot of good like there's tons of good stuff within the book, within all the detail and stuff. So it's so hard to be like, here's the book. Like, shit, I spent fucking 20 minutes reading it. You know, like it literally takes like 30 minutes to fucking get through it. The audiobook on top of reading has been a game changer, Jay. Absolute game changer.
Right? The LibriVox one, right? Where you're like listening to it as you're reading.
And I've been biased. I was like, no, listen, we're not an audiobook club. We're a book club. All right. It's not gonna get, but it's low-key big game changer. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you're reading it as you're listening to it, I think it still counts. You know,
yeah.
You're like well, you just have somebody else's voice reading like in your head.
Talk to the ref, like that's in the line, dude. That's fine.
Yeah.
It's line. It's line, but it's close.
That's line. It's in bounds.
Yeah, it's in bounds. It's line. And if you're one more, yeah, you're out. But
yeah, if you get rid of the book, then it's out.
yeah. As long as the book's in front of you, and I'm doing that. I'm literally on the line. I'm like, it's fine, dude.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
I thought the part that stuck out to me that was kind of crazy was Devin's book when King Agamemnon's like, should we just retreat, like low-key? And then, he's like, oh, you know what, just ask Achilles if he can join the war, the gods will be on our side. But he's like, we're gonna give him 7 cities, all the lesbians from the lesbian island.
No, all the lesbians, and that shit is funny. Yeah,
I was like, what?
Yeah.
I like him.
That's
They're
boss.
from Lebanon. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm curious to see Agamemnon's like punishment or like what happens to him like in these coming books.
Yeah.
Like obviously his men are kind of like, yeah, you shouldn't be leading us.
Yeah, they gave him like all this stuff, right? And then they get to Achilles, and Achilles like he's just chilling, playing like the guitar. He's like vibing, and then they're like, "You guys want to eat?" And then like they eat, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, tell me what he's gonna give me." He's like, "Nah."
Now my
Like,
food is hungry.
all you guys are gonna die. He's like, "That's what happens when you hurt my pride," you know?
Right.
And like the bite the hand that feeds you. Like Achilles says some shit like, all the stuff that Agamemnon's giving me, I literally got for him. Like
Right.
there would have been none of that without me. And when it was time to like, give out the goods, he goes, I was neglected low key for how much I pulled.
Right.
He's like, and I kept my mouth shut. I knew I wasn't the king, and I was okay with just being just the goat. But
Yeah.
then you have to fucking, belittle me in front of everybody, take my girl. All right, I'm done. Like, yeah.
Took my
That's
girl.
when Trump decided to run for president because Obama made the joke that he was president. And you're like that's like don't make an enemy out of literally a guy with so much emotion, and that should be the theme. Yeah.
They're
Don't
gonna
make
take
white
on.
boy with motion your enemy, bro. Like literally, Trump wasn't going to be president, and Obama made that last joke, and then that changed history forever.
They took my wife. They took everything from me. And then he's like, and then Achilles is like, you can have all that stuff. He's like, I'm just gonna pick this lady from this. I can't remember what he said. He's like,
Yeah,
I'll go live somewhere small. He's like, I'll be fine with that. I'll go move into the mountains.
Yeah, he was like, "There's a fair maiden that a king wants to give me anyway. There's a million princesses that want me because I can be king anywhere. I don't have to be king of everything,
He's like, let me go back to Lesbos. I'll get all of the lesbians.
All the lesbians.
But there's even that correlation between like Dylan or Dolan or whatever and
Diomed?
and Agamemnon. Like Agamemnon and I don't know if it's Dylan or Dolan, the guy that gets killed by who?
Dolan.
There's like huge representations of how they like plead for their lives or like plead for like not wanting to lose on the back end of like being almost like a coward. So it's like there's so many like different interpretations of who these characters represent and how they are represented.
And shit too, to the point, if Agamemnon meant it, where was he?
Right.
Yeah. He didn't even show up.
They're doing it. He should be the one offering it.
Yeah, and like I think Achilles makes that point. He goes, "You tried to butter me up with all my best pals. We got Ajax. We fucking know it. Yeah, me and him were boys back in the war. Yeah, of course. Ulysses, who doesn't love this fucking guy, like little bro, He's
Even
like,
sent my stepdad out here.
He brought my stepdad out of the woodwork, so I got old grandpa out. Hey, Phoenix. Yeah, he's like, I pulled out of bed for you. I know you're tired.
Yeah.
He's like, where's Agamemnon with all his pride? Sends literally my best bros. And he goes, and I get it. You guys have honor for like the for the Greeks, but he's like, not my fault no more.
Right. Yeah, man.
Man's just gonna watch all his boys die.
Yeah.
Dude.
But that's the thing. They keep hinting at that, like literally, he can only put up this facade for so long because like the reason why he is that goes because he's got so much pride and like love for his fellow Greeks and for his nation and for like what they're fighting for. And so they keep hinting at that, like he probably will come in and save the day, but the cost is going to be like, and they mention it in the story. It's like, if you decide to help us now, you'll be a legend. But even if you say no now, you will come later, and everyone's not going to be like hype about it because they're like, you should have been here already. You let us all die. So like you're just putting up a mess you could have stopped anyway. They say some shit like that.
Yeah.
So you have the choice that Achilles has, and I want to hear what your guys' choices are. You can fight there, die, and be a legend forever and christened in history, or leave and live a long life with all the lesbians.
I got it right now. Okay, listen, if I was Achilles, the only way I accept Agamemnon's apology, okay, and come back and save his ass, because I think Achilles is right. I don't think he's in the wrong. I think he's in the right. Is that Agamemnon needs to kill himself for the greater men of the Greeks. If you commit suicide and like I literally fucked this up in this position, I'll take all the blame on me right now. I'll come in and save everybody else but you.
Seppuku.
Yeah, do that for honor, and I'll respect your honor, and I'll step up and save everybody.
Wow. Okay. How about you guys?
Oh, that's difficult. I'd probably like, I don't know.
And then I'd make the Lord. I'd be like, I was just playing. Don't actually kill yourselves. I want to see if you're gonna do it, you fucking pussy. You know? But I want to see you
King
go for
Solomon
it.
style.
Yeah, I want
Yeah,
to see
commit to
him
that
go.
shit.
And I want him to see like, okay, fine. For all my Greeks, I will do it. Then I'd be like, all right, let's see it. Then I watch him. You know. So, but yeah.
Yeah, I think I probably would interject on the basis of wanting, like, obviously Agamemnon to pay like his dues, but give me the position of Agamemnon. Like he answers to me and my leadership. Like he takes a subtraction in whatever he has now.
Okay.
So like, because it's like there's going to be a lot of men that die on the back of like a girl that like he stole and like shit that doesn't matter to men that are literally like sacrificing themselves to protect their land or their country or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like that's how I think of it. It's like you could protect 1,000 and kill one, or you can like let one be the devastation of a whole fucking village because you couldn't get over that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to lesbian island.
Lesbians.
Lesbian. No, I'm just kidding. What Devin said. I would swap. You're like, will you listen to me now? I'm the captain.
I'm the captain now. Yeah.
It's so different from nowadays too, because like if I think about it, I'm like pride. Like to me, you're still world renowned as one of those dudes. You know, I think I'm with David. I would leave too. If it's about that, there's nothing that Agamemnon could do to appeal to your pride anyway at this point. Why are you still there? And so, like, I would probably do the same thing. It would be tough because all your dogs are there, you know?
Well,
Yeah.
Well, why is he still there? Is because he's low key keeping an eye on the battlefield.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
know?
in book 12, right?
Yeah.
He's there and he's like, he's on a boat and he's like, oh, Patroclus, go check out who just got hurt. Like it matters, right? Because Nestor, when Patroclus gets there, he's like, why the fuck does he even care?
Yeah, it's like telling Tom Brady to not fucking go catch a fucking snap and go throw a fucking touchdown. Like,
Right.
you know, he can't help himself. You know,
Right. So, if you guys had to predict what's going to happen, because we've just hit the halfway point on Iliad. If you had to predict what's going to happen in the final 12 books, what are some predictions that you have?
I feel like leading up to it, like with all the omens and stuff, I think Hector's overconfidence is gonna lead from victory slipping through their fingers. I think Achilles is gonna come back as like a catalyst for a renewed vigor for the Greeks, and it's gonna be the Uno reverse card. But I feel like something tragic, which is foretold, is gonna happen to Achilles. And it all boils down to like pride over a girl, but like it wasn't even about a girl. It was about like my ego with like literally Agamemnon was like, it's like Achilles was like the sous chef and Agamemnon was like the head chef, you know? It's like, damn, dude, I've always been there for you. How could you treat me like that in front of everybody? You know, when like literally the reason why we're successful is because I've been the GOAT for you. And I gave you that. I was fine with that, you know?
Yeah.
So I think those are the takeaways.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm in line with I think something. There's a few characters I think that are gonna like run into some catastrophe that shakes their world, like Achilles, Agamemnon. I think they're both gonna have like some sort of like pit to pay. I think Ulysses and Diomed are gonna somehow like end up in a powerful position against like against Troy, but I think the Greeks are going to be able to like withstand the pain or the pressure of the takeover, but I think Hector might move too fast, and he's gonna let his ego or his pride get the best of him. as far as that, like, I think once the war settles down, I think it's going to be more going into the dialogue of the gods and what fate they're going to set for people. And we'll get to see that in the next maybe like 5 books or sooner. Because I feel like we haven't really heard too much about like the gods. Like they come in, they interject when they need to.
True, you're right. We haven't really seen like how the drama with the gods has been going as the war's been escalating. You're right. I actually I forgot about that. Like they've chirped in a little bit with like messages and omens, but pretty much their hands are tied because Zeus set the law. So they'll probably have a lot. What's up, David? What's up?
On that, what I think is going to happen is we're going to get at least 1 to 2 more scraps, maybe even 3 with like the gods, right? But then there's going to be one that's really significant to where maybe one of the gods is like overstepping too much, and Zeus is like, "You're going to Tartarus or hate your." So you're like you're chained forever, or something like really big is going to happen because of the situation. For sure, like Apollo, right? Apollo might step in for Achilles and be like, just do something catastrophic to everyone. I don't know, like something major. Oh, Poseidon too. I think Poseidon's going to be maybe getting.
So is the Odyssey? That's a story about Odysseus returning home.
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
My prediction, and I haven't looked this up despite my judgment. I think the Achaeans, the Greeks, are going to be beat into submission.
Oh shit! Okay, you
And-
really think they're gonna get beat like that? Okay.
Because we all know the story of the Trojan horse,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So this is the only reason I'm coming up with this, is because we all know the story of the Trojan horse. It's in like our vernacular and kind of the like Rubicon of our culture.
Yeah.
I think they get beat into the submission, and the Greeks then they send the Trojan horse in, right? Like, here's our, oh, we fucked up. Here's like a statue for you guys, kind of like the French with us, giving us like the Statue of Liberty. But then there's the Achaean army within the Trojan horse, and then that's when shit starts going crazy. That's kind of what I think.
Damn, maybe that's Achilles' idea. He comes back in, he goes, "You want to know how to fucking get the wall back?
Submit.
Big brain right here, but you gotta trust me. We're gonna build a fucking horse. We're all gonna go into the horse army."
Yeah, so I'm gonna go just ChatGPT, and there's this like hallucination within some of these pictures with the horse. So I know the horse is coming. I just don't know when.
Well, yeah, you're right. There is a hallucination of the horse. I love this one. I love that so much. You're just in there, bro. He looks at you like that. You're trying to be quiet inside the horse. Like, dude, can you believe it? We're literally inside of a Trojan horse right now. Can you believe it?
Right. Oh, yeah. All right. 2 more questions. First being,
dude, save that for when they're finally in the horse. I need it for the Prezi.
Yeah. So I have 2 more questions. The first being, up to this point in the reading, who is your favorite character from the story and why?
Diomed, hands down.
Okay, why?
I think just the willingness to not want to take leadership, but recognize like he wants the men that he fights besides to have like strength and knowing that they'll fall together rather than run, and that he would stay there like even if everybody left. And maybe it is ego, maybe it's like a prideful thing, but I think in those times the people that are rewarded the most are the people that like fought for their like to the end of ends. There is no running, there's no like, you set this path, this is the path you chose. If there's a loss, then you come home with that loss or you die on the battlefield. Like, and Agamemnon really sets the stage for a great representation for Diomed. He kind of like gives him that platform to stand on. But then there's multiple points after that, like where Diomed like wants to be a figure of be the figure to attribute like the valor, the courage. Like, what else can we do other than strength in numbers? Maybe we can like sneak in on them at night. Like, he's thinking strategy.
Yeah, like Achilles' absence.
He's not, and he's not doing it in the name of like, I'm gonna lead and I'm gonna do it. Like he's like, how do I best suit what the team needs right now? Like, how do I just be the best like team member? So
He's a really good entrepreneur.
yeah,
You know?
literally. Yeah.
And if I recall right, when Agamemnon is like, maybe we should go home, Diomed's like, yeah, you can go home, but we ain't going home. Right?
Yeah, you can. But he's like, but me and the Greeks will stay because like we've already said that we're going to take the wall. I'm like it's this is it.
That's pretty gangster.
Yeah.
So for me, Diomed.
Hell yeah, dude. All right. Who's next?
I like
Turtles.
I just like Ajax. Ajax is pretty sick. He's just the strongest go-to warrior, and he's just down for the fight. And to this point, has been very honorable. And he just handles business.
Hell yeah.
So
Good soldier.
yeah, they're like, you got it, go for it. And then
If we're in trouble, call Ajax.
Yeah, that's how I think of Ajax. Like, oh shit, Ajax is coming, everybody watch out.
Come plug this hole real quick, bro.
he's literally the like the armored titan, or like the
Yeah, dude. He's a good one too. Yeah. How about you, John?
Man, it's tough. I feel like the guys you said, especially in the books we just read, they're really like holding water to like Ulysses, Ajax, Diomed, to show like all the men who stepped up in Achilles' absence, I feel like Hector, for me, my like for him is waning because I feel like he's being carried by plot, by Zeus. So for me, I'll go with I like Achilles right now. I feel like he's relatable in the fact that like he low key like his emotion and pride is literally stopping him from like being helpful, and I feel like that's very relatable. I like him because he knows his worth, and like he wasn't afraid to draw a line and say I won't be taken advantage of no longer, and you will feel what it feels like to be away like when I'm not around, and like they weren't empty words. He was right, and his call was right, and I feel like you should know what you're worth and when not to give people access to you anymore if they're not going to keep their end of the bargain, whether it's like being respectful to you, being civil to you, giving you what you earned, not giving you what they told you to earn, So I think these are all good takeaways. And like there's the reason he's the GOAT, so of course he's showcasing like I think some good attributes on that. But a bad one too is also that like he's letting his pride get in the way of saving like the broader scope of things, which is all the Greeks. But that's why he's taking a stand, because he's like, you guys can't win without me.
Yeah. Nice. Interesting that you guys all chose Greeks.
The Greeks? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
for me,
the Trojans are being carried right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna still say my favorite character is Hector, bro. In the Greeks, the war is the book is written from the perspective of Achaeans and
Right.
Or Greeks, and I think it is so. When I read what Hector's doing in this war, like you don't hear about a Diomed or Ulysses or Menelaus, fill in the blanks of all the different people that step up for the Trojans.
Yeah.
Hector's that guy.
Until the end, when they literally do like unnamed heroes
Right.
like assemble, and the one of the unnamed heroes is Sacpion or whatever. He's part of the Lycians. But you're right.
Yeah, but I mean, when I picture like Hector fucking combing through the war, I just picture like some anime character, just like a blip. He comes in, he's like cuts up like 3 of them, and then he's like fucking like Dragon Ball Z, like fucking vanishes, pops up in front of the next guy, and he's like fucking dudes up.
It's like Madara Uchiha when he enters the 4th grade ninja war, like they're like, he just jumps in like yeah.
You're just fucking him up. And so like in terms of the might of warriors, I would say like, yeah, Hector's my favorite because like you get a peek into what he is as a human when he goes back into the walls to meet his son and his wife
Yeah,
and
yeah,
his dad and his mom, and like you get kind of a background story for him. And then when
yeah.
he comes back out on the battlefield, like you now know how much is weighing on him. Like,
But the thing is, though, is that like the reason why I think he's getting carried by plot because he is, but like he's not as great as Ajax or Ulysses.
true.
Which is showing how an uphill battle the Trojans are facing because the Greeks are like have like an all-star team and like
Right.
maybe the Trojans only have Hector and a couple other guys. But like there's a reason why Zeus stops him from confronting or stopping Agamemnon in the beginning from creating havoc because he's like, hey, if you go toe to toe with him, low key, you guys both aren't making it out. Like,
Right.
sure, you stop him, but like you're not better than him. Like how Achilles is. Like you'll lose. You won't walk away from it. You'll be on the sideline. And I need you to wait. So like that's why like he only has success when he's got strategy on his side. That's why I think he's gonna lose and coming up to it, you know? Because I feel like he's not the GOAT like these other Greeks are. He's like he's good, but he's not the GOAT.
Yeah, I'll also say too, I think a prediction. I think Hector is gonna be like removed from the story in some capacity. Just based on the storyline and like philosophy of story, like when you give a lot more detail, like especially like we have the gods versus like a humans dynamic, there's a lot more of a dynamic of who the character Hector portrays, like family. You have this detail in depth, like they're giving us a lot of like they're attaching this to him to his
Right.
capacity, and
And
usually
he talks about like how
characters
he might not make it, you know?
yeah, and so it's like I think he might not make it to the end. I think there's gonna be something that takes his life.
Like when you zoom in when he meets his family and his wife was like, she's like, you know, if you leave, like you aren't coming back again, right? And he's
Right.
like, fuck, he's like, trust me, I fucking know that shit. I fucking still gotta go, I gotta say goodbye, go back out there. Like I literally have to.
Right.
He's like, and I'm praying that like we're both wrong, okay?
Yeah.
When we read that
I
section,
make it back. But
when we read that, I rewatched the Odyssey trailer, and I think it's Matt Damon. He fucking says that to like his wife, or like she asked him, "Are you coming back?" And so I'm like, is he gonna play fucking Hector? So I'm like, dude, I keep rewatching the trailer to see if there's this shit we could like, if I can identify stuff in the.
that'd be cool. Yeah, I'm excited to fucking get to see that where we finish the book. I think it'll be so sick, especially the way we're consuming this. Like I feel like we're like knowing the book. I think that's what's so cool about the presentation stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like a TV show like The Walking Dead or name any medical show. When they let you in to get attached to a character, you know that motherfucker's gonna die.
You all. Yeah,
This is like a TV show. It's like the next episode, book 13. You know, like picking up where we left off. You know,
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Final question. I think you touched on this a good amount, John, but I want to pose the question anyway. Was there any interesting lessons that you picked up from this week's reading?
someone else goes, not me. Like Jay said, I talked a lot.
Lessons.
Ooh.
Go ahead. Inspire some talking points.
Okay. I got one. Fuck it. Here's another
Go
good
for it.
one. Always have good counsel, right? Like one of the reasons why Hector is succeeding is because like the Polydamas guy or whatever, he's supposed to like symbolize wisdom and he interprets the omen. So he's kind of and he's trying to focus on strategy. And like Zeus is also Hector's counsel, you know, and on Agamemnon's side, he's got Diomedes who tells him, you can leave, but we're gonna be here. So you might as well stay here with us, you know? Agamemnon's got like Nestor, the old wise king, like Ajax for strength. So like each person is like a catalysm of like all these different people that kind of help make who the Trojan and Greeks are. And like it shows like when Agamemnon didn't have one of his best members of council, look what happens, you know?
That's a good one. I hadn't thought about that until that point. That's really good.
Let's fucking go, boy.
Yeah.
Counter. I think when I first read like when they leave to go see Achilles in book 9, I think Achilles was like I was almost blown away like that he brought them in and welcome armed, like he was very welcoming, and it's almost like forgiveness, like he accepted that like I made a choice, and this choice doesn't come down to anybody but me, and I get to change this choice if I do. But I think that just the aspect of forgiveness, and wanting it to move in like he wants his life to move in the context of like what he's realized or what he's reflected on from past wars and like the life experiences that he's already had up until this point, and what he has access to. I think
Yeah.
accepting the ability to move forward versus like continue to live in the past, I think was a big like thing that like
Well,
I don't know, I was surprised when I read
He's not necessarily like, because he's not forgiving. He just doesn't charge them the sin as being a follower of Agamemnon. You know, like he hasn't given forgiveness to Agamemnon, but he's like, you guys aren't charged by that. I know you guys are literally just like following orders, and like I fought with you guys like just the other day in the grand scheme of things. Like, y'all are my brothers, so nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
I'm fighting against dad is like kind of what's going on,
Right.
You know,
Yeah, so
but
maybe
like,
it's like
it has nothing to
he
do with my
just hasn't,
bros.
he just hasn't thrown the baby out with the bathwater. Like he understands like there's a dynamic that I still adhere to, and I still like respect all the guys on the battlefield. But
I feel like
there's
that's good. Not throwing the baby out of the bathwater. Yeah. I think that's good.
Yeah.
I think for me, just the idea of honor and integrity and the value of like being an honorable man and not going back against your word, but also like your, I guess we talked about it, like your tribe, your nation, it's like almost like patriotic in a way. It's like I will die for my country type of thing. Not being a coward when shit hits the fan. It's like all or nothing. There was a line actually. Did you guys catch that one line? I should have. I think it was in mine, or yeah, it might have been my book, where I think it's someone, they're talking about heroes, and I can't remember who tells it to who, but someone says heroes, wounded or not wounded, are the ones that are like remembered in war or something like that, or I can't remember it, but
Is
it
when
was
they're talking to Achilles and they're like, this guy was offered all this stuff. He rejected it, entered the war a little late. He ended up saving it, saving their side of the war, but didn't receive what he was promised.
that's what are you talking about when Achilles was talking about it when they
that's
came to
book 9.
Yeah.
That's Malager.
I can't remember.
I think that was a slur, Jay. I'm gonna think we have to beat that out.
Meleager.
We're gonna get caught on that on YouTube. We're gonna bleep that one out. Pretty sure that was a slur. Ancient Greek slur.
It's a Greek name. It's a Greek. Actually, Greek
If you
name.
know anything about history, that's a Greek name. They love me.
One of the Greeks.
Yeah, the Greeks.
Greatest
The
of all
Melangers.
time.
The Melangers, they love me.
They love me.
Dude.
Right. While you're looking that up,
Yeah.
one of my big takeaways is pride. We're seeing that in basically every chapter at this point. The pride that Achilles has, the pride that Agamemnon has, the pride that Hector has. Pride can be a double-edged sword, where it can lead you to do amazing things. Having pride in your family, having pride in your country, having pride in your faith. But at the same time, it can lead you down some bad paths to make bad decisions, like Agamemnon, where his pride led him to make some bad decisions, and because of that, he's has some regret and made poor decisions. So one of the big lessons that I'm gathering from this reading so far is beware pride and know that it's a double-edged sword, and it can lead you down good paths or bad paths.
I feel like let's zoom in for that for a second. So like let's look at Hector and how pride was like a a powerful tool for good for the Trojans, let's say, you know, because pride was maybe thorning him or fueling his decision making, one or the other. He is going to go back to the war. Like he had the chance to leave, and he could have kind of like left in obscurity, been with his wife, with his newborn, been with his family. They're wealthy, would have been fine. War would have been over. They could have insulated themselves. But his pride as a warrior, a leader, and a man in his nation caused him to pick up the yoke of an impossible task, you know, and Zeus is honoring that maybe in a way by you know, kind of guiding Hector and being like, hey, the scales of fate have decided for the Trojans, maybe because of how Hector's wielding his pride, you know, where like the Greeks, like gluttonous over like all their past victories, pride has become the part of the double-edged sword that hurts the owner, you know, where
Right.
like it's causing poor discourse between the leaders of the Greeks. It's causing poor decision making at the topmost level, Agamemnon, and like their best warrior, Achilles. So it shows that like pride is being used as like a weight on the army that's causing them to maybe like sink at a level where like they're engaging evenly with the Trojans now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good analysis of that. That's really good. All right. Anything else to add before I wrap this up?
Oh, I found it. I think I found it. Okay. It's in book. Yeah, it is my book. There's this part where it reads, Ulysses was now alone, not one of the Argives stood by him, for they were all panic-stricken. Alas, said he to himself in his dismay, what will become of me? It is ill if I turn and fly before these odds, but it will be worse if I am left alone and taken prisoner. For the son of Saturn has struck the rest of the Danaans with panic. Though I talk to myself in this way. Well do I know that though cowards quit the field, a hero, whether he wound or be wounded, must stand firm and hold his own.
Hmm.
Bang.
I love why do I talk to myself in this way? It's like I know we could probably all relate. When you're trying to push yourself, your internal dialogue is like, don't be such a fucking pussy. And it's
Yeah.
like, why do I talk to myself this way at my lowest? You
Right.
know, like I'm never able to give myself an inch of like, it's fine, dude. You can run away. Like shit's fucked up. I'm like, only a pussy would say that. You know, when you're trying to motivate yourself, and that's not always the case. You know, but I just thought, oh, that's happening like in a blink of an eye too. By the way, you know,
Right.
he's like, fuck, dude, shit's so fucked up.
Yeah, it's involuntary.
Yeah, literally this sword. Like I was like, fuck. You know that thing of Jon Snow when like this, oh, they're coming, and he literally unseats his sword, just throws the sheath down because he knows like this is it. He just like,
Yeah.
fuck it.
That was us in the blizzard on Whitney, dude. We were at the rocks. We're like, fuck, we gotta go. We gotta run.
It's like Sanji, bro. He pulls out that cigarette, lights that shit up. All right. And then he's like, it is what it is.
At least I had my last cigarette. Like,
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. Fucking flicks that shit off. He's like,
Yeah.
let's fucking do this thing.
At least I had my fucking last cigarette.
Take us out.
Hell yeah.
All right.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Paradyme Podcast. We hope you enjoyed the show, and we are so grateful that you're here. If you're reading along for us, drop a comment down below. What did you learn from this chapter? Who's your favorite character? We'd love to interact with you down in the comment section down below. So drop a comment down there, like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that little notification bell so you're updated every time we upload a video, and follow us on all our social media platforms. All the information you need will be down in the description box below. Again, we're so grateful that you're here. We hope you have a great week. And until next time, remember, who you are now equals who you'll be tomorrow. Peace.
Food. Why isn't it sucking?
Okay.